welcome to Podcast from the Pit. I'm Eric,
I'm Casey.
and with us
I'm-
today is
I'm JoeHunter73. Wes.
I'm some dude who just woke up and hadn't had any coffee, but I think my name is still Ken. So, yeah. And
I'm Crash, who just woke up.
Crash.
Crash.
Oh,
Not
How's
getting much
the
sleep, Crash?
eh,
well, congratulations, buddy.
Yes.
appreciate it.
How's your little angel doing?
Her and Mama's in the living room right now.
All right.
You know, Crash, I showed my wife the picture of you and her, and she's like, they look like twins.
That's what my wife said. She's like,
Oh,
she's so
yeah.
cute.
Yep.
Well, if you ever wonder why I look like clean shave, there you go.
There we go.
Yep.
You know, a couple of years ago, my youngest two daughters look just like my wife. If you look at pictures from like the same age, they could be triplets.
Hmm.
But my oldest is all me, except for she's beautiful. But she did one of those. I don't know if it was what app it was, but how you would look like if you were the other gender. And I swear we could have been twins.
Oh Lord. That poor girl.
Hey, she's beautiful. She pulls it off. I don't.
As long as you get to keep the Skeletron hat, it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hat's mine.
Yeah.
Corey gave these to us at Joe Fest, and
Yeah.
Corey
He's super
I
gave-
will
cool
always
guy.
rock it.
Corey gave you. I didn't get a hat from Corey. Come on.
He felt sorry
Well-
for him because he's hanging with me.
I did promise to buy a Skeletron, so
Yeah, but I handed him a red ninja anyway.
well, he probably wanted us to go away so he could talk to other people.
Yeah.
Parting gift.
Yeah. He was looking at them, asking him what I was saying. He's like, what in the world's that guy saying? I see his mouth moving, don't understand a lick of what he's saying.
All right. Rex Ship says if I shave off my beard, I could be beautiful too.
There we go. There we go.
Let's say hi to who's in the chat. We have go all the way to the top. We have Joe Ricondo,
Yes.
who we will talk about this later, but he is sponsoring a awesome giveaway
Yes.
for the channel. So we will definitely talk about that. He is working all day today.
Yep.
We also have Ken. We have
Morning, Ken.
Morning Zazel,
Morning, Zazel.
Beta Ray Bob. What's up?
Hey.
Is it cold in Alabama? Let me know. Foot. Good morning.
Morning, Foot.
What's up, Foot?
Wreckship 85. Hello. Ronnie Trickshot.
This is for Ronnie. Yeehaw.
Good morning, Gaz.
Morning, guys.
Yes.
Morning, guys.
Jokers, what's up?
Morning.
Lilith, how are you? Missed you last
Morning.
couple weeks. Larry,
What's going on, Papa Bear?
Larry.
Yorktown Joe.
Hey.
Good morning, Peter Malone.
Top of the morning.
And Bob says, yes, it is colder than it should be in Alabama. It's been
It's-
a weird year. These
Yeah.
cold snaps are terrible.
It's colder than it should be in West Virginia, too.
So, how's everybody's week? I worked all week, so it was terrible. How's your guys'?
Busy.
Busy?
My
Busy.
week's been all jacked up. I got called in. I got my wife off to work one morning. Then, as soon as she pulled out, my phone goes off. I got called in, had to go and do day shift. Then the next day was a snow day. And just, Crazy.
Well, I know we got some Delta 17 stuff to talk about before we get into our list. So you guys want to do show and tell?
Let's roll, Joel.
Did you guys have show and tell on Fridays at school as a kid? Like in
As
elementary
a kid,
school?
we did, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Okay.
I always brought toys.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's who you
Probably
found
one of
out
those
who
that
had
out.
like an AT-AT or the bigger cooler stuff, and yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Always liked it. We never did it much, but whenever we did, I was like, oh my gosh, what can I take? What can I take? And then I never get to do it. And I was like, son of a biscuit.
I am pretty excited for mine, so I will go first today.
Go for it.
And I will make mine big. All right. First thing I got, and very, very excited for. I got this custom airborne from Alpha One Creative.
That's so cool.
Much.
Masterpiece.
Yes.
It is beautiful. It's going to go right up there with the one Foot got me. And then from Hillbilly, I got the custom Night Force airborne.
That's cool.
And
You know how hard it was to
right
part
there
with
the other
that?
one. Ooh, hello. I think first time. Good morning,
wow.
Oz.
Morning, Oz.
Wow. Hey, Oz. I request Oz as a Motu guest.
I do like Motu.
Yeah, I do too.
I've heard.
And from Super 7, I finally got my Fatal Fluffy and Ramar. I was patient. I waited for them to go on the Super 7 site instead of buying them for some outrageous price on eBay. But here's what I was waiting on all week.
Ah, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Got my Mondo He-Man.
Podcast from the Motu.
Yep.
That
Very
is
excited
actually
for
pretty
it.
cool.
That is very
You know, I doubt it runs me down a rabbit hole where I buy more.
You say that.
Never.
But so excited to have it. And I've asked for Skeletor for my birthday.
That's awesome, man.
Hey guys, try the Super 7 site. Also, if it's your first time buying, you get free shipping. You just got to click on a button that says first time buyer. And
Might have to do that.
Fatal Fluffies are awesome.
I need about 20 of them.
I am happy with the one.
Really?
Yep. I haven't opened them yet. So if I get them in hand, I may want more.
Yeah.
Probably want more. Eric, you got anything?
Snow. I got lots of snow. That's all I've got. That and these guns.
And Bob says Big Bad Toy Store also has Fatal Fluffies now.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, my Target doesn't carry any Joes anymore. They got spots for them, but they don't carry them.
I
Empty
don't know.
pegs. Empty pegs, and they're all disheveled and just not taken care of or organized. It's a sad state of affairs in retail.
Yeah,
That's my joints wreck ship.
it's my 16-year-old Dotson Molly. She's whining for more treats, even though I just gave her a couple before the show. She doesn't get any more until later.
She's a good girl.
To be fair, Oz, I always talk about Mojo. But yes.
But the Mondo is the first appearance. So.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm very impressed with it.
Actually, I do have something for show and tell. I just want to give a quick shout out for somebody. So
All right.
if you all want a good cup of coffee, I want to recommend get a hold of Foot 1212. That man's coffee is like drinking nectar of the gods. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but my gosh, it's so good. He roasted himself. He'll grind it or send you the bean. Oh,
And a sticker.
and a sticker. So you've got coffee from him, Wes?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love it.
Oh
I need to order more from him. It's addictive.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing. The Walmart stuff I buy is nothing compared to this. It's such a good quality. So that is my show and tell for the week. Next up.
He's up there customizing and grinding beans.
Yeah.
Guys says Cobra Law and Fatal Fluffies. Give me more. Yes.
And
Less Cobra Law.
Well, you know, the Energon makes me like Cobra Law. They are doing them right. But
That's
until
the way it
then,
should've
I
been
did
done.
not like them. Yes.
But like whenever I was a kid, I absolutely hated that. Hated Serpentor. Despised him. Thought it was the dumbest idea ever. And now I'm older. I'm not much wiser, but I'm older. Looking back, it pays homage to the adventure team, if you think about it. So, and that's something I'm getting into more now, especially after last week. So,
Yeah, that was fun.
I'll quit
Learned a
rambling.
lot last week.
Yeah. It was a sensory overload for me. But
Anybody else got anything for show and tell?
Sure, I guess. I mean, yesterday I got the Cops and Crooks Roadster.
ooh,
with
pretty cool.
With turbo two-tone.
That's cool.
Yeah. So talking about another O-ring line. That's what Cops is. I also got the helicopter, which I'll post today on Instagram. And for you Transformers fans, it's sitting downstairs, but I did manage to get the Microman version of Reflector. It's too early. Perceptor.
That's so cool.
It's the so the pre-Transformers from the Micro Change line. So yeah, and I mean, depending on what other show and tell you want to talk about, I mean, I've
weapons. We'll get to those for sure.
I was gonna say this might take a minute. Hailstorms, and anyway, we'll get to that when we get to that. So yeah,
I know Crash has got a really big show and tell. Well, not a really big one, but a really cute one.
Yeah, and she's in the living room right now, so I'm in the bed still. Like I said, I literally just woke up.
Yeah. We appreciate you coming on, man.
Oh yeah, man. We missed you, Crash.
Yeah. I'm so happy for you all, man. You're truly blessed, my friend.
I appreciate it.
Is it your first?
By blood, it's my third.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
And it's my last. That's it.
You say that.
Yeah, she got her. She got fixed, so that's the last.
Okay. Understood.
Yep. That's my wife. After we had our third, she's like, "This is it. No more. Boy or girl, we're done." I'm like, "All right." Then the nurse was like, "You got a girl?" And I'm like, "Really? I got two already." I wouldn't trade any of them.
You sound like my mom.
I would say my kids keep me young, but they stress me out sometimes, so it probably makes me older.
I know that feeling.
I used to have a head full of hair.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. And then I got married.
Yep. I think Tim's the only one with a full head of hair now.
I sent Casey a picture yesterday, and he said, "Who is that?" I didn't have my glasses or my hat on. Just all the fluff of my beard.
I forget, Joe. Did you have anything, or Wes?
Yeah. So, I got the order from Black Major in this week of those. I don't know what he calls them, but The
Ooh,
Oh, the
That's
payload.
pretty cool.
payloads,
that's
yes.
cool.
Yeah.
So I got the whatever starter set. So I got this one. Cobra.
Nice.
Yeah, so Black Major can be hit or miss. These are a pretty hit. This one's really cool. Soviet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the back of the helmet,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
1980s right there. CCCP.
Yes.
That's so cool. And then my most favorite one. Great detail. Everything's tight. The joints are tight. So, but yeah, just the patches on there.
Oh, yeah.
So pretty cool.
That is
You
cool.
know, that first one looked like it had a horde symbol on it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, it's the
Maybe I
what
just
is
got
that?
Mochi on the brain.
You do.
Skull and wings.
Is that Warhammer?
I'm not sure.
Maybe. It's either.
I'm
Wonder
not
if it's
familiar
the-
with it. It is cool with the kind of the smoky black gray.
Wonder if it's the thing for Skeletron.
I
Yeah.
can't remember. But then there was a bunch I think it was a set of 10 I got. So
Have
and
you
then it
seen?
came with a bunch of heads too, like extra heads. So pretty cool.
Have you seen the
Well, it's just-
Ninja Turtles that he's coming out with?
Yes. Man, between the Kickstarters, everything that's going on out there, and then you got Black Major, the Lady J one. It's just so tempting to but I got to pay bills sometime.
Yeah.
And
hear that.
adulting stinks.
Yep. I'm trying to save up for Joe Fest, so I'm wanting to
Yeah,
bust
that too.
those Ninja Turtles, but like Ninja Turtles, Joe Fest. So
All right. So, everybody in the chat, if you want to play along with your list as we do ours, that would be awesome.
yeah.
But we're going to start with Hillbilly and work our way around to last and least me.
Okay. Well, my number 5, and you all probably throw me off the podcast for this, is Despero.
That's okay.
Great figure. Yeah.
It is a great figure. And it's kind of like picking your favorite child. So, but
Well, there's really no wrong list. That's the
right.
thing. Any figure could be on there.
And then again, I was tired whenever I was writing this list down last night at like 10:30, 11 o'clock. So, yeah, Despero is my number 5.
She's a good pick.
So we'll go over to Ken.
Yeah, we were debating before the show started whether or not I get a top 5 or whether I just get to sit in and laugh along. But they're like, no, you get to pick your favorite 5 among Steve's designs. So I'm like, okay, we'll go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go with one of the ones that hasn't sold as well as we thought it would, but I'm gonna go with Preacher.
Oh, that is a
And
good one.
what I like about him is he's when I was shown the design for this initially, my first thought was this could fit in right between that 86 to 89 gap of G.I. Joe, right when Mark Pennington was knee deep in the line, right?
Yeah.
There's the detail, the groundedness, the deco. He's a taller buck. Everything just kind of works together for him. Now, everything about him is like mainstream at the time, nothing fantastical, nothing flamboyant. He's just raw, everything you could ask for in a tactical figure, and there's no fanciness to it. And
Right.
I just think he fits in the best. Like of all the figures that could go into the line, you could argue him or Death Sparrow because Death Sparrow has the Russian thing going for the October Guard, but I think he just fits right in. Like you could just throw him on a shelf and nobody would notice he's not a Joe from that era. So
Yeah.
that's my thought on it. So yeah.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. You go ahead.
I was talking to Ken. He was still talking. I
Oh no,
interrupted. I'm
I'm
sorry.
good. I'm good.
Tony Romo's Preacher. That was awesome.
He did a
He is killing it on those customs.
yes.
So one of my favorite parts about Preacher is his file card.
Mhm.
I don't know who wrote the file card. My gosh, they absolutely. You did that?
I got notes from Steve. We sat here on StreamYard one night and we banged out all 12 file cards in about 3 or 4 hours. Because he had a bunch of notes and he's like, "Can you make these into paragraphs, Ken?" I'm like, "Okay." So I just start typing in the private chat.
Yeah.
So there's the how the sausage was made with file cards. Sorry, it's not more loud.
No.
Yeah.
So did you write all the file cards or just?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay. So Joe Fest, you're going to be signing some file cards for me.
Yeah, I signed a few last year, so I'll do that again this year.
I did not know that. I apologize.
No, it doesn't matter. I don't broadcast that, so yeah.
Well, it matters to me because you are part of how the sausage is made. So, Mr. Wes.
So I've only had these, maybe hasn't even been a week. It's been a week maybe. So yeah, this was a tough list, but my number 5 is going to be Jaguar.
Oh.
Kind of reminds me a little bit when I first saw him, got him out of the package of Firefly, just mostly because of the coloring. But yeah, the sniper rifle is bad to the ass. And then his blades and how it fits into the backpack. So yeah, really, really cool. Cool detail. Yeah.
And shout out to Jesse Sandifer who sculpted most of that figure. We made a bit of an error on all of the, well, not all on the Shadow Dragon and the Jaguar one. For whatever reason, the factory said that Tommy Hodges sculpted everything. He did. He sculpted 10 figures and the arms of Jaguar. Jesse Sandifer did most of Jaguar, and he did Shadow Dragon. So shout out to Jesse. Yeah. Lilith.
Excellent.
Who you got, Crash?
My number 5 is going to be the Okami.
It's a good pick.
It is.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun with that figure, so that's my number 5.
It's
Fair
a great
enough.
figure.
Yeah. For my number 5, I'm gonna pull a little bit of hillbilly here and say it was a tie because I don't know honestly which one I love more, regular or the red. So I just bought more regular and make the Joe Fest a leader, and they look beautiful together.
That's close enough.
Deadly.
Yeah.
Deadly.
Yeah. They're the elite guard of Shadow Dragon, but they're always with him, so they're closer to the leader than.
That is my number 5, and it's such a fun figure.
Yeah, it's a great figure. So, my number 4, Shepherd. I love that figure. It's great.
We'll call this one the Sissy Chapel.
Sistine Chapel. Man, I can sign it if you want. But I love the night vision, how you can flip it around.
Yep.
And the helmet is great. The shotgun, I can't wait for one of the things you're going to be showing here directly. Because I need another shotgun for a custom figure that I did. He is almost as close to a perfect figure as you can get. I love it. It's stand up.
Yeah. And I keep getting asked about this, whether we're going to go back to the original color scheme for
Yeah.
Shepherd at some point. And it's like, well, we'll consider it. You know,
You
it's
need
on the
to.
back burner for now, but it's not completely off the table. Let's put it that way.
And then I get the
Real Fest
Shepherd in
exclusive.
Yeah. I get the Shepherd in hand, and I'm looking at it, and I see a mark on the underside of his forearm.
Yep.
So I messaged Ken. I was like, "Is that a tattoo?" He goes, "Yep." I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
Oh,
it's
wow, I
so
didn't even
cool."
realize that.
Yep.
Yeah. So
The cougar skull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that it's a great figure. So that is my number 4.
How much you want me to soapbox on this, Lilith? Because we're in the middle of a list. So No Aloha is a character we have that comes with a surfboard. We're currently working on the sculpt for him, and we'll have a medic in Wave 2 known as Tourniquet, and that's currently in the 2D stage. And that's one of the reasons why we brought Jesse back to come in and work on that figure. Tommy's pretty busy at the moment, so that's what we got on the go for those two. And we're gonna go relatively. We're gonna have some winter themed troopers. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
So, yeah. Having said that, Steve tells me what's in Wave 2, and then a week later it shifts. But those ones haven't shifted, so that's why I'm telling you about those ones.
All sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got some Kestrel love here. Good morning, Impossible Pie.
Morning.
And Lilith wants to know, is there a Russian in winter?
There's a one-word answer. There's a one-word answer to this. I just don't know if I want to give out too much, but we'll just say the coffee hasn't started working. Your one-word answer is yes.
Nice.
It's a remake of Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd and Spies Like Us.
Yes.
Oh, I love that movie.
It's a great
I love
movie.
that movie.
I guess it's over to me for number 4, hey?
Yep.
I'm going to go with Rooster on this one. A lot of people are going to have this guy in the top 2.
Mhm.
We get asked the question a lot about why there's 2 antennas. It literally is in case you lose one. And I don't know what it is. It's just he's supposed to literally be the strong silent type on the team. And yeah, he's got that hit and run look to him, but while hit and run had kind of like a yellowish green, this guy's got like the deep forest green. You know what I mean? So that's just to me what I'm and of course with the whole removable backpack thing, like this is something I didn't even realize it came apart that far. Like I thought it could just come apart like this in the 2 pieces until I got it in hand. I completely forgot in the notes that you could actually take the lower part of the pack off. So there's just so many pieces there.
Yeah.
I
thought you could, but I was afraid of breaking it. So
nope, that's how it is, right? Then of course the radio comes off and the antenna comes off. It's literally a 5-piece backpack, and I just like that how you can take this and make it like a light radio only carry pack.
Yeah.
Right. So it's high seas scurvy dogs in the Lion's future. We'll have animals. Put it that way. Does that help? More animals.
Yes.
Right. Right. So. And at some point, Leonidas' dog is going to grow up. And for those who don't remember, because Leonidas' name keeps getting mentioned in the chat, the dog's name is Flashbang, in case anybody doesn't know. We haven't had a chance to write that in yet, but it came up on a stream with the Punk with Toys sometime last year. We just named him, well, not on the spot, but Steve named him like a day or 2 before. So, yeah. Because we were trying to lobby for Lawrence's dog to be Roman, to be the name of it, but yeah. There you go.
Richard, I highly recommend Rooster. This is a great figure. They're all great, honestly.
Is it just
If
me?
you want that childhood joke feeling,
Or
you
did
really want
Casey?
to give it to you.
How's the audio on your guys' end?
Casey, something's going on with Casey, I think.
Yeah,
It sounds like a robot.
Yeah, your microphone started to go robotic. We can still hear you, but you got robotic a little bit there.
Yeah,
How about
there's a
now?
buzz. No, still buzzing.
No.
A little bit of a buzz still.
Only when you talk, though.
Yeah.
Better not be quiet.
No, or you could
No.
try logging out of StreamYard and coming back in and seeing if that helps, and then like check your wires.
Still a little bit of a buzz.
Are we sure it's me?
You're
'Cause I
better.
haven't done anything.
You're a little bit
You're
better.
a little better now. You're a little
Little
better
better.
now. I think we can work with that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll mute and talk less until it's my
No.
turn.
Actually,
There,
you,
good.
you cleared
you're
up.
good now.
You
You're
literally
crystal
just
clear.
cleared up. Yeah.
No clue.
What'd you do?
It's the retrograde.
Retrograd.
I have failed you.
So my number, we're on 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Leonidas.
That's a good figure.
When I think this is like one of the first ones I ever saw when the product line was being talked about.
Yeah.
This was going to be like my number 1 figure of all time, just because he reminds me of, it's an Outback figure. To me, he looks like a survivalist, growing the beard, the tattoos, the shorts. He fits right down here in Austin, Texas. He just needs to get in his Tacoma with a kayak and hit the rivers. But yeah, you were talking about the dog or the puppy, and I just noticed on the file card, yep, it doesn't mention that. It just mentions puppy. Puppy attaches.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's cool.
I got a friend, whenever he wholesale stuff here in Canada, he always refers to it as the Trump Trooper. And I don't know whether to be offended or not, because it's like, he'll be like, hey, Ken, I need some more stuff. I need 4 Shepherds, 4 Shadow Dragons, 4 Death Sparrows, and 4 Trump Troopers. And I'm like, we don't have a guy called Trump Trooper. He goes, yeah, you do. The guy in the shorts. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like,
He reminds me more of a, like, I mean, it fits perfectly, but, I just watched the doc on Netflix with Black Hawk Down, and he reminds me of the Delta Force teams. They're bearded, not fit to the Army or Ranger look.
Yeah.
Like they're more of a contract, team. So no, it's cool. Very, very cool.
What sold me on him was whenever I got the comic at Joe Fest and I started reading it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is freaking awesome. And just the dialogue coming out of him, I was like, oh. And I was like, daggone it, now I got to get that figure. And I
It was
got him.
glorious.
Yes. And he reminds me of how rock and roll should be from the Joe team. And
oh, go ahead.
But he is just, I salute him. He is a cool figure. I can't wait to see Flashbang starting to grow up.
So the comic was this close to not making it to Joe Fest, right?
I know.
Yeah.
You always cranking on it whenever you was on our show right before Joe Fest.
Yeah. I think we went on like 5 days before we still didn't have it in hand.
Yeah.
Steve left Tuesday afternoon. He got it Monday afternoon. None of them were sleeved or bagged. So he and his wife and kids were sleeving and bagging and throwing them in the truck in the day of, and then driving down. I'm like, oh my God. He messages me. He's like, okay, I'm on the road. I'm like, you have everything, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, no, I mean everything is in the comic. He's like, yeah, we're good. So anyway, yeah.
Steve's the man.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
So Crash, what's your number?
My number 4 is going to be a Shadow Dragon. It just looks like an over-the-top 1980s villain.
Yep. That he does.
Good call.
He's just overall a fun figure. It really is.
Yeah.
I like the fact they put the bendable wire in his capes.
Yeah.
You can pose it like he's walking or fighting or anything like that. There's a lot of detail in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
great
can't
figure.
go wrong with cloth goods.
No.
Do I still sound robotic or am I all right?
You're
You're
good, man.
perfect.
You're good.
All right, 'cause Peter Malone says Megatron has entered the chat.
He might be a few minutes behind. So
Yeah.
And Lilith wants to give a shout out to Joe Ricondo for sending the patches and comics, key rings, stickers. Yeah, Joe
Nice.
Ricondo is one of the best,
yeah.
yep.
hands down.
Cool dude.
Yeah.
Love having a beer
hello,
with him at Joe.
Cobweb.
Oh, Cobb's here. Nice.
Me and Joe
nice.
has the story of a lifetime together.
Yep.
I'll never forget how pissed Joe was at the last Joe Fest.
Hey, you didn't get berated for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
The door was literally blowed off.
that's right. I think we only caught the last end of the B rating on that. We thought that was funny as hell. It's like, no, he's been going for 28 minutes, guys.
Like Larry said in the chat just now, whenever I opened them up, it was like opening up an 82 Joe, or the Joe's back in the 80s again. It's just a great line. It's probably my favorite line that's out right now.
So are we ready for my 4?
Yep.
Ah, yes.
Death Sparrow.
Death Sparrow, yeah.
She is awesome.
That she is.
The fact that she's all the way down at 4 just shows you how great all these figures are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And like someone said earlier in the chat, these could change, except for my 1 and 2. These could change week to week. It depends on which one am I messing with most at the time, you know. But my 1 and 2 is solid.
Yeah. So my number 3 is a tie to pull a Casey. It's the Okami. I can't decide if I like the red or the gray better. But my gosh, it's such a cool figure. I love the interchangeable hands. They're an unstoppable machine. They're if a bat was perfect, it would be an Okami. So that's my
So
number.
Rex Ship says that he bought Rooster and a few of the bad guys during the stream. Nice job, Rex Ship.
We like
You
to
will not be disappointed.
berate people until they buy stuff.
Pull them on in.
Yep.
And we got some Joe Ricondo love here, as always. Should
Rex
be.
Ship's a 112th. 112th.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Wow.
getting into the Lord skill.
Yeah.
You don't want that argument this morning.
Let's just say both skills have their merit.
Yeah.
I put it
One's
like
just-
this. You can have the Lord scale, and I have the true Lord scale.
So we're getting some Leonidas love for number 3 from Gaz and Zazel. But Zazel also adds Flashbang.
Yeah.
I thought Zazel had Leonidas at number 4.
And 5.
Yeah.
I think it's his favorite.
I see what he's doing.
Yeah.
I didn't know we could do that. All right. Start over. No.
And Peter Malone said he bought some extras to do some head swapping.
With the you might have already heard, but the females can't be head swapped with like Baroness and Lady J and them. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Right. Head swaps work for the males, but
Oh.
with the females, the torsos were done quite differently.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Don't tempt any of these customizers out there.
You mean like
Tempt them.
Tony,
Let's see what they
you mean
can
like Tony
make.
Spiggs, who just does his own thing, his own way?
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, we got some great 118 customizers like Foot.
Yeah.
They-
Foot and Alpha.
Foot
Oh,
Alpha
man, we
1
need-
and Viper.
Kiwi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cody.
Yeah.
So many good ones out there. Talent I'll never have. We're at 3, Hillbilly.
Okay. Sorry, I'm
No, you're good.
struggling.
I want to make sure we leave time for some Delta 17 talk.
I did my number 3.
Did you? Who was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did a tie. That's right. The Okami.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Okami.
right.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry.
That's right. Yeah. Well, my number 3 is similar. It's not quite a tie. I'm gonna go with the Okami Elite Century from Joe Fest last year. And reason for that over the other Okami is that
Tiny.
because this was the original color scheme, right? So this kind of got ingrained in my head back in 2020, and then a change was made. And then early last year, like early 2024, we're like, well, why don't we do a Joe Fest exclusive? And we just went back to this color scheme and said, well, this is going to get worked into the comic anyway as an elite guard. We may as well do that. And the unfortunate thing is, some people know with the legs on the original figures, some of the legs don't. This one actually works, so maybe it's a bad example, but sometimes the leg doesn't bend up all the way. But we managed to fix that with the T hook. By switching the T hooks out for the red version of the Okami. So that ended up working out well. So I'm a little prouder of us for this one because we managed to fix that one QC issue. But so that's why that made number 3. Yeah. So, cool. I think we're over to Wes now.
Plus, like Casey said, you can have the red to be the leader of that army builder for the Grays. Yeah.
Yeah.
So buy more Grays.
Yes.
My
please,
number
actually.
3. My number 3 is going to be Preacher.
Nice.
Yeah, that he kind of honestly, the gun is spectacular. The backpack, I just love how all these figures have the way that to basically just be able to hold something, right? But kind of reminds me a little bit of Stalker and a little bit of a tunnel rat as far as the because he has the big gun. He doesn't really have a bandolier, but he just has those ammo pouches on his chest. And yeah, the color combination with the camo pants, black top, perfect, just absolutely perfect. Yeah, the sniper gun is amazing. I love that thing. It's a big one.
What's funny is my number 3 was a figure I absolutely did not like, which is funny. It's Kestrel.
What?
Yeah, when I first seen that figure, I didn't care for it or anything. But I'm like, now I was like, that's one of my favorite figures.
Because we forgot the hand you won at Joe Fest.
But like I said, she has a knife on her backpack. She has her guns. She's a pilot. I like the figure.
Yeah.
It could easily be Flint and Lady Jay's daughter. Easily.
Mm-hmm.
Marissa Fairborn. Yeah.
Hey, good morning, Tony.
His ears
Morning,
were ringing.
Tony.
He heard us mention his custom, and his ears are ringing.
Sorry about the dog.
James, what are you doing?
What's going on?
It is
Somebody
dark. I'm
dared
in
walk
here
across the
posting.
street.
Yeah, trash truck. I thought it was Jerry Recondo. His trash truck pulled up in front of the house, and our dog started going off, so I had to mute myself.
Mine
My
too,
son just
same
walked
time.
in.
What do you got
So
there, Casey?
my number 3, Shadow Dragon.
Yes. Enemy leader.
Yes. And he wasn't always in my top 5, but the more I mess with him,
Mm-hmm.
he's getting up there.
Yeah.
And that's tells you it's a good line when you can change your opinion on something. Like, I was not a big fan of Leonidas at first because I think it was because of the shorts. But when I read the comic, big fan now.
Yeah.
Something's funny about what goes on with Shadow Dragon because, like, on our website, he doesn't sell nearly as well as you'd think he would for an enemy leader. Like, he's one of the lowest sellers. And then at Joe Fest, Crash will remember this. He was selling so well that, like, they were sending me back to the room to, like, get more boxes of him to bring to the booth. Like, he sells really, really well in person for whatever reason. Right?
Maybe people just got to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I'd say
samples
that's
there,
nice.
get them in hand, and be like, "Oh, I gotta have this one."
Yeah.
Like, to give you an
Yep.
idea, like Jeremy, like Mythic Legions, right? Four Horsemen Studios, Jeremy Gerard, their brand manager, / marketing guy, he'd never heard of the line. And I don't think he's a 1/18th guy. When I was talking to him at the booth, he sees Shadow Dragon, and that's like the first thing he posts, like, I'm buying this. I'm like, wow, I didn't even realize you did military stuff, right? So yeah.
It's a good figure.
Yeah, Shadow Dragon was flying off the table. Like, I go up under the table. I was like, "Yeah, we got like less than half a case left. We need more. Do we have more?"
Yeah. And I think Steve was like, I don't know if we have any more. I'm like, I swear there's 2 cases behind the TV. I swear there is. Yeah.
Thanks, Larry.
You all was
So we're getting
swamped.
down to number 2, Hillbilly. Who you
Well,
got?
My number 2 is this guy right here.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Jaguar.
Was he your first one? When
One of my
you started
first
buying
2.
was yeah.
Yep. I seen him and I was like, so I love the character Hellboy. And one of the first movie, there was a character called
Cronin.
and he had those baton swords. And I seen that, and my favorite Joe is favorite Cobra is Firefly. So it's like Steve and Ken just took the 2 and they had a baby magically and dropped down Jaguar. And the only way this could be any better, and Ken, you'll probably kick me in the gut next time you see me for this, is if you had a light piping in the top of the head, so the eyes, the night vision light up.
Oh, like to glow. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Emerald Knight Photos photography, he does get the eyes to glow just with his photography skills and all that. So yeah.
But it's just it's not a nitpick. It's just like hey, it's a cool figure with or without that.
We're glad a lot of people are liking him because, like, it's one of Oz's favorites as well. But like when we finished Jaguar, we're like, ooh, I don't know about this because Steve wasn't feeling his best when he was doing up Jaguar, right? And my worry was, are people just gonna see, even though he's completely different, are people just gonna see Firefly? So we were not sure. Jaguar was the one I think we were the least confident in going into the line, and somehow people like him. So
I absolutely love it. I love the camo pattern. It's completely different from Firefly.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I mean, I love the sniper rifle. I mean, it's a great figure. You all absolutely crushed this. So that is my number 2.
Good stuff. Oh, right. Over to me. Duh. I'm going to go with Death Sparrow for this one. I just like what she embodies for the line. I think that, the first comic, she's kind of what makes the plot go. Like, yeah, Leonidas is there with his one-liners, his zingers, and all that. He's right there on the first page. But without her, the plot doesn't really happen, right? While we're using Shadow Dragon is like mysterious enemy leader. She's the one out in the field, right? It's almost like if we had to answer the coolness of Baroness, because that's what everyone's going to hold a female bad guy field commander to, and that's what we came up with. I'm proud of that one, right? So it's just everything that she embodies, and for the same reasons as Preacher earlier, she can largely fit into the original Joe line, probably as an October Guard, right, or an October Guard enemy, as I said in one of the videos. But yeah, I would absolutely say Death Sparrow, hands down, right? I know she's one of the lighter ones in terms of accessories. And in case I forget to say it later, but her AK has the brown highlights in the weapons pack, those highlights are going to be red. In case I forget to say it later. So while the weapons are a reuse, she's the one that gets a bit of a recolor for that. Okay, so there you go.
Man, you almost convinced me to change one of my top 2 here, but sadly, I don't have her in my top 5, but she could easily be in there. I mean, any one of these, awesome. They're going to change over and over. But my number 2 is going to be Rooster. I always love it when a line can incorporate a Native American.
Yes.
And yeah, the deep green, as you talked about earlier, reminds me of the early 80s camouflage we would see like in the Grenada or Western European front in the 80s. Just the dark green and black, but yeah, there's no black camo, but yeah, dark green and on top of green. So really
I want to say good morning to JLS Comics. I think it's the first time I've ever seen them on here.
Awesome.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to get that in there.
No, you're good.
Good morning.
Crash, number 2.
I'm going to say my number 2 is going to be Shepard. He's just overall pretty tactical. The helmet, the night vision, the shotguns, everything. And plus, you can't go wrong with a skull mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
All right, so my number 2.
It's overall fun figure, it really is. You can use them at any era of Joe or any other toy line.
Yeah.
My number 2 is my favorite troop builder, Thunder Battalion.
Such a great figure.
Yeah, I love this figure so much. I think I've got like 7 of them now, and I'm not done. I'm gonna try to get 10, I think.
He is our best seller. Like everyone wants him.
I've got like 15 Thunder Battalion.
Yeah.
So you have more than me.
Wow.
I've got one thanks to Ken.
That's right. I sent it to you at Christmas time. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it, man.
That's cool. Thunder Battalion.
So, number 1. My number 1 would be They Come to Stop Him. The Rooster.
That is the best right there.
Yeah. Absolutely love this figure. I'm not good at building dioramas or anything like that, so I like taking pictures outside. And there's a lot of green around my house, so I like putting him out like he's sneaking through the brush or whatever.
Yep.
It's just, and if I ever drop him, I'll never find him. I know that. So, Ken, if I ever drop him, you'll be seeing another order for one.
You got a spare, don't you?
Yeah. So there's a story behind that. I got my first one, and I got him, and I seen that his elbow is cracked. I was like, ah. So I was talking to Crash at Joe Fest about it, and Crash hollers at Steve. And he's like, Steve, come here. And Steve walked over, and he's like, Eric, tell him what you just told me. I was like, I love the figure, but he's got a cracked elbow. And Steve picks this one up off the table and hands it to me. So these guys, they're not just cool people, but they're upstanding people. They stand behind their product. And I offered to pay him for it. He's like, no, you already bought one, and it was broke whenever you got it. So we're fixing this. So, I don't know if Hasbro would do something like that, but I know Delta 17 will. And that's why they're my favorite toy line that's out right now.
Yeah. That was one of the first designs, if not the first design we completed was Rooster. So
I love it.
yeah.
I don't know how you would be able to improve him in a version 2, but whatever you do, you'll crush it.
Yeah, we've talked about it. It's like, where do we go from here with Rooster? He's such a popular sculpt, right?
Yeah.
Like just the raw sculpt, like even without any color on him, right? Like when I first saw the digital sculpt, just in like a blank color, I'm like, oh my god, he looks so good already without any color on him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you all did such a good job with him, and I love the Native American background. How he went on a walk one day, and then like a couple years later, his family gets a letter from him, and he's in the military.
Yeah, the Spirit Quest.
Yeah.
Spirit Quest. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So number one for me, I was hoping Gaz would be in the chat, and he did turn up. Yep, and he did turn up because my number one is Shepherd. And for a lot of the reasons people already said, but what I said earlier about Preacher being able to seamlessly fit into the late 80s era of Joe, or even the mid 80s, really. If G.I. Joe were to evolve and they were to come into the 2010s, because our era is set in that our story is set in that 2015 to 2017-ish era, right? And you could have a modern version of Joe with modern tack gear. This is what I'd want my leader to look like, right? I had no input into this design, right? Okay, maybe I picked a few colors. If I asked, hey, you think we should go with yellow or orange? So I didn't. So when this kind of came out in the 2D design and Steve showed the turnarounds for it, I'm like, oh my god, this is exactly what I'd want in my head someone to look like. So yeah, absolutely. Shepherd, number one. And like Crash said, with the shotgun, that could go into any era. Like, yeah, the tack gear is modern, but someone in the 80s could carry that shotgun, right? So, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
There you go. There you go.
And you guys are always changing my mind now on my picks.
It's because I went right before you, so my fault.
I know. I'm just, but I got to go with what I have in front of me. Number one's going to be Shadow Dragon. Just pure awesomeness with the cape and the foil on it, and samurai padding, shield, whatever. Just really cool figure. Really cool bad figure, right?
Mm-hmm. He would be somebody if you would walk into like a darkened warehouse or something, and he would step out. He would make you wish you had your brown trousers on that day.
That is so true.
So, Crash, what you got?
Rooster's my favorite one. I remember seeing him at Joe Fest 2023 at the breakfast table where he wasn't even painted yet. And I just sculpted, and then Steven, his name and everything. And it also hits with me, Rooster also hits me a different way. Because when I was growing up, my grandfather would call me Rooster.
Yeah.
And I also have a Native American heritage. So I was like, that's my guy. Then when I seen the hand painted version of him at Joe Fest, I just loved it even more. And when I had my surgery last year, that figure came to the hospital with me.
Yeah.
So
is that a baby Crash we hear is there?
Yes, it is.
That's awesome. She's making
She's
her.
making her premiere.
Yep.
I don't know how good you can see her.
Oh,
Oh, I gotta make her big. Hold on.
oh, she's awake.
Aw,
Ah,
She's
precious.
awake.
she's so beautiful.
Yep.
You guys did great.
Yep.
Yes.
She looks so mean. So I did a good job. I'm on my phone, so it's kind of hard to.
Hey.
Her cuteness shows.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's precious.
Me, I'm
Yeah.
ugly. So I guess ugly men make pretty babies.
It's always worked for me.
She has more hair than I do, though.
Says adorable.
Thank you.
All right, so if we're doing my number one, I just want to say Rooster wasn't in my top 5. But, I mean, he could be tomorrow. If we did this list again, he could be tomorrow. That's just how close all these figures are.
Yeah.
There's usually not a line out there that every figure is great. This is one where every figure is great. But my number one, Shepherd.
Yes.
Shepherd, from the time I got him, he wasn't in my the original set you sent me. I was missing 2 figures.
I
That's
know.
on him. No, it's fine.
We
But
worked
when
it out.
I got him,
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my goodness. Online, it looks good. At hand, looks amazing.
Yeah.
And the way that yellow bandana sets off the red skull mask,
Yeah.
he's just awesome. And the amount of accessories on a 3 3/4, and he can hold them all.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic.
Yeah.
Great figure. Love it. My number one. And I always thought Thunder Battalion was going to be my number one until I got him.
He's a cool figure.
Awesome.
Like I said, it was like trying to pick out which child is your favorite.
So that just leads us to a couple Joe Fest things that you want to talk about, Ken. Do you want me to full screen you or?
It's up to you if you want a full screen or not. I mean, I know we usually like to cut this off around 75 minutes or so, or maybe less a lot of the time. So I don't, don't let me soapbox for too long if you're anyone's short on time.
Just the stuff that I want to see. So
okay, all right, cool. You can full screen away, sure. So he just announced our weapons pack the other day. So this was a pre-production sample just to get the sizing of the top hanger piece, right? And then so we've got 12 items in here. They'll all be weapons that you've seen before, including Death Sparrow's AK, which is going to be in a red color. You can kind of see the red highlights there, right?
Yeah.
Right. So otherwise, 5 of them will be Okami weapons. You've got both of Preacher's weapons, both of Shepherd's weapons. You'll have Roosters and Kestrels in there. Is that 12? I don't know if that's 12, but anyway, it's too early in the morning for me. And then at the end, they're going to add an extra hanger hole at the top here so that you can actually hang it. So this way it won't just be like this. So these we're targeting to put these up for $7 if we can. Depending on tariffs, it might change, but depending on shipping and maybe lack of tariffs, it might be lower. So hard to say at this point in time, but that's where we're at. These will debut at Joe Fest. And as I was saying on Mega J's last night, a lot of the stuff that, or at least the last time we had a Joe Fest exclusive, and don't get me wrong, this is not considered the Joe Fest exclusive. It's part of it's just considered as the weapons pack. But the last time we had items debut at Joe Fest, which was the comic and the Red Okami, there was a 3-month layover before we got it to the fulfillment center in New Jersey. And that's just because we got the whole shipment sent to Steve's, and then we trucked that out later on in the summer. This time we're splitting the shipments so that some of it's going to come to Canada where he is, but the bulk of it's going to go to New Jersey. So it won't be as big of a layover between when stuff is sold at Joe Fest and when stuff's available online. So, fingers crossed, it won't be a 3-month wait anymore. And did y'all want me to talk about the hailstorms as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Of course.
I may have to switch cameras for this one because I don't know if my other camera can go down low, but my frame rate kind of sucks on this one. So here's the hailstorm pre-productions. Right.
I'll
So
take 10.
you'll take 10 of which 10 of which color, because anyway, so what had happened was these are basically what close to what the final ones are going to look like. So this is like the regular dark shadows version of the hailstorm looks like, and this is the non-canon serpent blue type. Like that, by non-canon, it doesn't technically make the storyline, but we all know why somebody would want to buy this, right? In theory. So this gray for the hailstorm actually matches the usual dark. Oops, I managed to drop them already. The regular dark shadows gray, but eventually later on, Steve decided to darken up the gray just a little bit on the hailstorm, just because with Okami and Shadow Dragon and Jaguar, they're gray. There's a lot more to break up that color of gray, but when you have large splotches of gray all over, it ends up looking lighter than we expected. So he ended up darkening that for our final sample there. So the one that you'll see when you get to Joe Fest will be just a tad darker than these are. And on these, we realized on some of the pre-production samples that the wheels don't move very well, so we had to get that fixed up as well. Technically, the Gatling guns are removable, so I know my frame rate's really janky on this other camera, but the Gatling guns on the arms are removable. And we are targeting in that $35 to $38 range, just because there's a lot more plastic here, there's a lot more parts and everything. So hopefully we can keep it to that range. We've been asked, are the wastes removable? As you can see, they are not. They are not removable. But yeah, the belts on the sides, the machine gun, the Gatling gun belts are removable. There's no O-ring in these, right? So in theory, if you wanted to put them with your like 4-inch like Marauder size figures, you could, right? So that's what that would look like next to it, like a modern 4-inch figure, right? And for those curious, the packaging is going to look like this. This is going to be the packaging.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Open
I got a
side.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Really?
Go ahead.
Do they come with a parachute?
We put the request in to come with a parachute, and Steve hung up the phone. Right. So
I
apparently
guess
no.
I'll have to call Steve and harass him.
Yeah, because that worked so well last time. Yeah.
I'll send him lewd pictures of myself.
Yeah, just you're gonna press gang him into doing so. And the rest of these, like all these are considered pre-production, but like this would be the earliest test shot. But like there's certain fittings that don't work super well. Like I don't know if it's gonna show up on camera, but the elbows are not fully pressed in properly on these test shots. But these are just to basically get the sizing, get the general fittings, get the movements right and everything. And this in between sample here was to get the color matching of it for this version, just to kind of nail down the colors, because once they've done this up, they got to get the colors and then the deco, right, and then the final and then the packaging. So that's the way it is. And I think Lilith asked, can we pop the torso off the base? That's what I was saying earlier. You can't actually take it off. No. So yeah. Oh, the backpacks are removable. Actually, I just realized I've not shown this. I don't think any of us have shown this yet. But if you take this, the backpacks will actually fit on a regular Delta 17 figure like that.
Oh, cool.
Right.
That's cool.
And just for giggles, let's see whether or not it'll actually fit on a Ghostbusters O-ring. Will it fit?
All right.
It's a bit loose in there. It's a bit loose, like but like it just fell out, but it does it does actually work there. So that's my show and tell. Hopefully if anyone has questions, hopefully I can answer them. But like I said, I'm not the designer, but I'm supposed to know stuff.
Hey, now you don't have to say what it is, but there's also going to be another Joe Fest exclusive, right?
There's going to be a Joe Fest exclusive 2-pack. Army Builder 2-pack is what I'm allowed to say.
Cool.
Right. So there'll be a total of, I guess you could say 5 items because that's a 2-pack. Then you got the 2 hailstorms and you've got the weapons set. So there'll be 5 new items to pick up at Joe Fest. Put it that way. I guess 4 if you want to count the 2-pack as 1 item. So there you go. That's our little tease / explanation for how all this goes.
Do you see Rex Ship's question here?
Oh, is this a tease for the backpack and bullet feed being used for heavy gunner type figure? Man, everyone's reading our minds. Like, like, we love the idea of a heavy gunner,
Right.
obviously. And could there be a heavy gunner? Absolutely, there could be. So
I
yeah.
could almost see Rooster with a heavy gun, belt fed backpack. Boom.
Yeah. So
big
gun, yeah.
I had a
There
thought
needs to-
on those. Looking at the hailstorms, it would be so cool if they had flamethrower attachments for their hands as well.
Well, that's why they're removable, right? That's why they're removable. That's why the attachments are. Yeah.
I tell you what, you're like on top of it.
Yeah. Right. I completely forgot, even though he told me they were removable. I was fiddling with it, and this thing, the arm came out. I'm like, "Did you do this on purpose?" He's like, "Why wouldn't I do it on purpose, Ken?" I'm like, "Oh my god, you're thinking ahead." I'm like, "All right, cool." He's gonna watch this later, by the way, and if you notice comments that says, "Ken, here's the following 25 points you were wrong. Everything's been updated since we last talked 12 hours ago." Then, you'll know things are always in flight, are always changing. Yeah. So
It
I
happens.
think a lot of people are going to be at Joe Fest 25, so it'll be amazing. Yeah.
Almost like at the calendar, counting down the days. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I get to spend 3 or 4 days with all my best friends. The rest of the time I gotta work.
It is sad to leave though. Like if you leave on the Sunday or the Monday, I'll just never forget. Like as I say bye to Crash as the elevator closes, and I almost wanted to like burst out crying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Right. Lucky. I mean, like if you have someone to travel back with, that's great to some degree because I hit the road with Mega J and you're kind of decompressing together. You're like, not gonna see these guys for a year. So I keep saying, hopefully there's a second show we can all go to. And I mean, I'd love to say I'll see you in a few months rather than say I'll see you in a year. You know what I mean?
We need to plan a Delta Fest in Nashville so we can get Larry there.
Yeah.
I think a few weeks after is the DFW show.
It's 1 week after. Yeah,
1 week.
So Greg Brown actually reached out last summer and said, "What can I do to bring you guys here?" And I start talking to Steve. I'm like, "What do you think if we just stayed there?" The DFW show. He's like, "I love your enthusiasm. I'd love to do it, Ken. I just don't think we can make it work." I'm like, "Damn." And I told Greg, cool. I'm like, "I don't think we're gonna be there, man. I'm sorry." Like, we talked about it.
On your way back to California from Joe Fest.
Yeah, but we're up north, right? Like we're across the border. So, yeah, we're in Canada. That's the problem.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, yeah. But we thought about it. Right. A lot of good stuff happening at DFW as well. Right. Call Sign Longbow will be there, though. Thankfully. Right. Because they're good friends with Greg. So.
I remember my drive home from Joe Fest. Yes. I was like, man, it's like a 9-hour ride for me to go home. I'm sitting there like by myself driving, and I get a phone call. My wife's like, guess what? Like, what? We're pregnant. I'm like, aren't you happy? I said, you could give me a minute to process. Let me call you back. I'm coming down off that high all weekend, driving home like sad, like I miss all my friends. And then I get that call, like, give me a second. Okay, call like 7 a.m. Like, give me a second.
Yeah, you called me when I was at the gate, just about to jump onto the plane in Minnesota during the connector flight. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so happy for you. I got to jump on the plane. He's like, yeah, let me process this, man. I don't know. I just had to tell somebody. I'm like, shit. But now she's here.
I remember he put it in that chat that we're in, and it was a perfect way to end Joe Fest weekend. Now,
looking
now
back,
she's here.
Yep.
Just think, couple years she'll be going with me.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Bring the twins too.
I'm hoping to bring my granddaughter sometime.
Well, what's funny is today's a twins' birthday.
That's right.
Happy
it is.
birthday.
Happy birthday to them.
And how old are they now?
3.
3.
So you got my birthday is on the 10th. The new baby is on the 17th, and the twins is on the 22nd.
Jeez.
Well, happy birthday to everybody.
Well, today's my brother's birthday.
Well, there you
Nice. Happy birthday.
More so.
What's funny is the 10th is also Ken's birthday.
Which I don't broadcast out there, but yeah, thank you. It's fine, Crash. It's all good.
My brother should get his AARP card in the mail today. He gets the big 55.
Oh,
Well, I just want to say thank you
Yeah.
for coming on today, Crash. Always great to see you. So happy for you and your family. Wes, always great to have you.
Yeah.
Ken, amazing stuff. Thank you for coming on. You made the stream better, and I love the little show and tell you have with all those Delta 17s. I cannot wait to get it, Joe Fest.
if you feel like, I'll tell you what I tell Oz anytime I show these. If you want to cut that up into its own video and air it on its own, just go ahead. It's all good, right? You know, yeah. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll do. Oh, what's this? I don't think it's gonna happen. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that way.
So I have a prototype of a Delta 17 figure that they're working on here.
What?
Yeah.
You do?
Steve sent it to me. Did you not know about this?
No.
Put me up on big screen here. So right here.
It's a little Harper.
Yeah. It's a little hillbilly.
It's awesome.
Oh, that's who we shoot dead in issue 2.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
who you hit with
wondering
the
who
rocket
Little
launcher.
Harper. I was wondering who Little Harper was.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
There you go. Oh, she's back napping again. That's amazing.
so cute. So precious.
Nice.
Look at those cheeks.
My gosh.
So adorable.
Just want to pinch him.
All right. I can't think of a better way to close the show.
Yep.
So thanks for
Believe it or not, she's
sharing
not a
those.
fussy baby.
That's
Di-
awesome.
That's a blessing.
Huge
She's awesome.
Wes has his flashbang.
There you go.
All right. With all that, I will ramble all day long because I'm on
Yeah.
here with all my friends and all my friends in the chat. So I will just say, have a great weekend, everybody.
Y'all
You got to
take
be safe.